Hi.
Hi, Sylvia.
Right, another mirror moons time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even with mirror moons, we're just kind of, again, it's just an organic dialogue, but we don't even know where mirror moons is going to lead or where it's going to go. But
Yeah, it's just all part of
yeah,
the great experiment.
yeah. I love what you said. It is just an experiment. And,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's like whether we do it right or wrong, it's just, we don't even think about that. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
We'll
when that comes up,
see.
I guess we're here
Hmm.
to share what's present in the moment.
In the moment, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And recognizing that what's happening within us is probably happening elsewhere too. Our
Mhm.
personal
Yeah.
issues are a collective issue.
Yeah. And sometimes I know
So,
after our recording, I don't know if you watch it, but I don't watch it anymore. Like after like one or two, I just never watched it. But
mhm.
um what was I gonna say? Oh, after hanging up, I would just remember my feeling state or have another aha and then go into integration thereafter. Like there are times
Yeah.
that that has happened,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
um yeah. And I think this experiment, we don't know what the result will be, but we're just experimenting to see if there are any more aligned, like, no, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like a good click of like, oh, this is the result of what we just kept experimenting with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And hopefully things that we bring up will catalyze for you who's watching
Hmm.
some new awareness that'll lead to
Yeah.
the next awareness, the next awareness.
Yeah. Oh, and this is good
Yeah.
too, because obviously we're both wanting a positive result out of this.
Mhm.
That is our main, well, not, well, actually, that sounded wrong. Do we want a positive result out of this? But it's like some days we'll have positive results and some days we won't. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about positive results for you?
Mm. Mm. Well, I feel like whether something is a negative result or positive result, it's not something you can control.
Yeah,
It is something that happens.
yeah,
The result is just whatever, it's a summation of whatever energy you put into something.
yeah. I love where this is going, by the way. I kind of don't know, but it feels so good right now.
Okay.
Like talking about results.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
also if there's a negative result, it doesn't really stay negative when you're learning from it. So is it
yeah,
really, there's nothing solid. There's
yeah.
no finiteness to anything.
But it is true that everyone wants a positive result. Like I would always love to experience a positive result.
Mhm.
And only going taking actions hoping and wanting for that positive result because that desire to us is always
Right.
going to be a positive result.
Hmm.
So can that be stressing sometimes?
Can that be what?
Stressing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it happens on a subconscious level
Yeah.
most of the
You're
before,
right.
right?
You're hoping for the positive result, but if you're only doing it for the positive result, you're missing out on the process of getting there.
I love that. Yeah. But then I and when you said that, it reminded me of my past self of yeah, wanting that positive result and having a very hard time when I know what I want, which is my positive result, but it was such a challenge to
Mhm.
get to that positive result
Yeah. Hmm.
and not
Yeah.
liking this whole journey for this positive result.
Right. So that's why it can't, even though it's like you have your eyes set on the mountain
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
where you want to be going. But if you're constantly just looking at that and you're not really present with the transformation in the process of getting there, which is, it's both
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where you want to go and where you are now,
Yeah.
and letting yourself be present to the present state.
Yeah. Somehow I feel like I want to make that subconscious awareness become conscious for some odd reason. Like it feels like all this stuff that we're talking about, it happens on a subconscious level. So how can we consciously become aware of it that every time we desire something or go for it, it is a everything is a positive result.
Hmm.
We all do it
Yeah.
because
Even the things that feel negative.
exactly. Like I'm hurting
Yeah.
you because and the positive result in that is I don't
Yeah.
know, like you did something wrong to me, or I don't know. I don't know what that motive is, but even that to that person that's doing it is for a positive result somehow.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like even yelling at someone because you're mad. There's a positive result in that person that's mad and like yelling.
Expressing anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't see
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
So it's trying to get a positive result by yelling or whatever.
Yeah. Which in the moment might feel negative.
Yeah.
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 So results.
Hmm.
We all aim for a positive result,
Mm.
but does that become too much when we're not consciously aware that positive results can look and come in many ways before you manifest your positive results and for us to be okay with that? But it seems
Hmm.
like because it's a positive result, we want it. Like, but that doesn't feel right or wrong. I was gonna say, um, want the easy flow. But there's nothing wrong with easy flow either.
Hmm. Yeah. I feel like easy flow is, or being in ease and flow is how you confront or work with the obstacles that keep coming up, and you don't see it as something that takes you away from the positive result.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even just you trying and showing up, you're already in the positive result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you get just too focused on the outcome of things,
Yeah.
I feel like that is just a byproduct of something of like you committing your life energy
Oh my God, I love that.
to something
Yeah.
that has value to you.
Because you see the cherry on top and you so want that. So I'm just reiterating what you said in this example where you're just feeling into that positive result that trying to get up there could be challenging and it's uber painful. Like it's extremely painful because you're holding on to, you're just seeing this cherry on top that you want. And every time you go through the challenges, if you see that you're not in that flow, it's
Yeah.
feel really painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So then to get to that point of that manifested desired positive result, would the ease and flow be accepting there's going to be positive moments, painful moments, challenging moments, but you're going to get it. And could that be also at ease and flow? Like
Hmm.
genuinely accepting that it's going to be all of this, or maybe not,
Yeah.
but being okay because you're going to get there. And that would,
Hmm. Hmm. And I think a lot of times in that journey, the hardest part is when you are trying to like force something, force an energy that's not there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of an example. Just the energy of I see the cherry on top and I really want it, but I'm like so lost right now and I don't know what to do and I keep trying and I'm white knuckling and I'm clenching to try to get there
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what to do right now and I'm so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the energy. I think that's when you're faced with the I don't know where you're
Yeah.
triggered
Yeah.
and you just see the cherry on top and you just see how far away you feel from it. And I
Yeah.
think that is the moment when it's actually you're not, this is the place when you're not supposed to be trying to get there.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what do you mean? You're not supposed to be trying to get there.
You're not supposed to be trying to get to the cherry from that state of like, I feel like I'm so far away and I don't
Oh,
know how
oh,
to get.
oh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's actually the moment when you need to drop in and be in a receiving place because you're not receiving what's coming up right now, like
Yeah.
the shadows of the I can't,
Yeah.
I don't know, and
Yeah.
you're trying to push things when you're actually needing to lean back.
Yeah.
And like that's how you get into flow when you're not moving against some part of you that's feeling scared, trauma's coming up about the past, about I can't. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's when you need to be in a receiving place.
Mm-hmm. And
But the thing is, we're so programmed to like, we, if we want to get to the top of the mountain, you have to keep like just pushing.
yeah. And that, what you just exemplified is overall that feeling state of, oh, that being in that example is creating a negative result or a painful result or a negative experience to get to a positive result. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, that positive result could be very painful. It's a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
reflection of pain. That positive result
Yeah.
is a reflection
Yeah.
of pain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of like, say you're, yeah, like hiking up the mountain,
Yeah.
but suddenly you feel pain because there's a pebble in your shoe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then actually you need to stop
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
and go like take out the pebble
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can not have resistance and be in pain
Yeah.
going up the mountain.
Yeah.
But I think that's where uh you think that you have to keep going, you feel like you're falling behind
Mhm.
to stop
Yeah. Yeah.
and look at what is hindering me right now, what's causing me pain.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
true.
the thing is, we're like so conditioned to not know how to do that with emotional pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Because on that exemplification in the 3D, it's like don't focus on this pebble. Like keep focusing on that cherry. Keep
Yeah.
walking. Even if you're in pain,
Uh-huh.
don't worry about it. Keep going. Yeah. And then you get another pebble in your shoe somehow.
Yeah, right.
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
then the
like that
whole time,
analogy.
if you can't keep working on one pebble at a time, then you'll get to a result of, oh, I need to change my shoes or something.
Yeah.
But like that focus of don't focus on that shoe, just keep going is
Yeah.
gonna create, yeah,
Mhm.
like I don't know,
So
snowball
so
effect
when
of
you don't stop, then you're missing out on what's causing
yes, to stop and look and
you to
feel
slow
like
down
yeah,
in pain.
yeah.
Yeah, you're missing
Do
out
you
on
think
that information.
like positive results can cause a person to like create a blind spot or to want to create denial,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so how can a person on a conscious level like not wait until it gets too bad? How can someone become consciously aware of it like earlier on than rather than it feeling like, oh my God, it's just become too much. I don't even want to desire that positive result anymore.
Mhm, mhm.
But then later realizing subconsciously it's always wanted that positive result. It's just that the journey of it was so painful that they gave up on that positive
Mm.
result. But maybe giving up on that positive result wasn't really giving up on it. It was just it's too of a challenge. I'm going to deny that positive result.
Mm.
And then subconsciously wanting that positive result, um, but now suppressing that again, which makes it like further away with now more pebbles in your shoe type of feeling state of the hike, where it feels even harder now
Mhm,
to the point
mhm.
where it feels like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do at this point. And then
Yeah.
it gets really complicated from that, like when it gets to that point,
Mhm.
like how do I undo all of this now?
Right, because then more is at stake. You're like, well, now I'm so close. If I stop now,
That or I'm even further away.
yeah,
And they're both a result of like it feeling really painful.
yeah. So
Yeah, so
I think the
yeah,
way to stop it when you just recognize something isn't working, and if it's making you lose desire or even not want it at all
yeah,
anymore,
yeah,
something's not worth it, or it's just not fun. That's a big indicator when something doesn't feel fun.
yeah.
Not that it should always feel fun, because sometimes challenges don't feel fun, but it doesn't mean don't do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
True. It's that
Yeah.
perseverance, I guess, of like,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, if you really want it, it'll be worth all of this. Kind of like
Yeah. And I
being
guess
aware of
even
that. How much do you want it?
how much do you want it? And I think for me, what gets me through those places is for me to even take my attention off of the positive result
Mm-hmm.
and be like, whatever it is that I'm wanting, there's always going to be something I'm wanting, but through
Mm-hmm.
the process of going there, it's how I am coming to know myself.
Mm-hmm.
So more like, oh, this is another place of me learning about myself here.
Love
Me
that you said
being
that.
aware that, oh,
Yeah.
like this is a, like this challenge is working a place in myself that I didn't know, like an unconscious, unaware, or like weak place.
Yeah. So whether
Hmm.
you're so close
I'm
to that
working it.
journey or that hike, or you're so separated, it's like
Uh,
whichever perspective you're in or whichever polarity you're in, it's still a moment, like you said, of um, well, learn more about yourself in that moment.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning that I'm at this threshold right now
I love
between
that.
I can't
Yeah.
to I can. So
Yeah.
how do I transform this edge place I'm in where I feel like I'm at the cliff and I feel like I can't?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know that my only way is to go through this.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not even to get to the other side, it's just because I really want to know
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
myself through
Just
this because of this curiosity.
yeah. 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 So wanting to know the truth is really valuable.
Wanting to know the truth of myself and what I'm capable of, my capacity
Mm-hmm.
for curiosity.
Yeah. And through
Um,
that self-awareness from whichever end and getting to know more about yourself, that positive result could give you such a clarity of, oh, wait, actually, genuinely don't want it anymore. Or no, I'm fucking finding out I want it. Now it's really clear to me that I'm not going to stop. I want it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But of course, it's different if it's like, you know, if it involves other people. I mean, because it's their free will. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't involve another person's free will, like, yeah,
Mhm.
and you have this clarity of wanting for it, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's more so, I think it's more important not like choosing what you want,
Yeah.
but more like it's more important that you just let yourself go for it.
Mhm.
Anything, actually. It's not even really, I feel like it's secondary, like
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. But what you said, that happens the more you get to know yourself. It goes back to
Yeah.
that again, where
Yeah.
um you have an easier time going for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then it
Yeah.
all goes back down, which is really fascinating me right now. Of in the beginning, we talked about results and that positive result. How do we get that? And how
Uh-huh.
do we go for that? I feel like we found the answer just through this conversation. Which
Oh, what
is
is it?
knowing yourself more. Just
Mm.
know yourself more. The more and
Uh-huh.
more you know yourself, the more and more clear it's going to be about not having a, resistance towards going for that positive result.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah. And that it's just
Right.
going to be a journey where you're just going to learn more and more about yourself along the way,
Right.
whether it's
Because
positive or negative.
whether you get what
Yeah.
you want or not, I
Yeah.
think just to know that every step you take where you're saying yes to yourself
Mm-hmm.
and saying, yes, I am worthy of trying something new and
Yeah.
finding out for myself whether I even want this or not, or just giving
Yeah.
my energy to something and committing to something and focusing myself towards something,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that in itself is a win.
Yes. Totally.
So
Oh,
the result is secondary.
yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just as valuable and like um a, a positive moment of like reaching there, but also the journey is too as valuable. Yeah.
I just thought of this example from like years ago when, I mean, since I was younger, I so dreamed about, one of my dreams is, oh, I really want to make clothes. And I wonder how people make clothes. And wouldn't it be so nice to just know how to make your own clothes?
Yeah, I used to be like that too.
Yeah. And and
Yeah.
like okay, I was for a while working as an animator and I just knew, okay, this is not my jam. I mean, it's something I can do, I'm good at, but
Yeah.
it's not my passion.
Yeah.
And I just started feeling really stuck and stifled, and my job was just feeling like such a drag. And then I had this whole like tantrum one day where I just realized I do not have the energy to put energy into this job that I have no interest in.
Yeah.
And I had this whole epiphany about, oh my God, I really just want to learn how to make clothes.
Yeah.
And it felt so dumb because it's not like something I could make money with right away,
Mm,
but it was just this
same feeling.
desire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and so like once I decided, okay, I'm going to value this desire no matter what it's going to bring me.
Hmm.
Like I just need to go for it because it just keeps bugging me that I haven't been going for it. And it's will be always this like unexplored door of curiosity. I just need to let myself go for it because I just can't stand where I am also
Yeah.
with my other stuff. And so that's when things just started coming in. Like I started working with my friend who's makes clothing and I started learning from her. And I just started, yeah, like all the process of learning. And it was like, I was in the flow,
Hmm.
but also on the other hand, it was super hard because all my programs would come up like, oh, look,
Hmm.
what, you're gonna just start a fashion line now? Like, how are you gonna do that? And I'm literally just learning
Yeah. Yeah.
basics,
Yeah.
having fun learning the basics, but it just kept being there, like what's gonna be the positive result from this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I need to not. be in that zone when I'm just needing to be in the joy of just
Yeah.
learning
Mm-hmm.
innocently and
Mm-hmm.
not already think, what am I going to be making
Mm-hmm.
something like profitable
Mm-hmm.
with this? And so, I mean, I had this whole vision of having this kimono line, and I
Yeah.
even made all the designs, and I had fun doing that, but I never actually got to my goal, the positive result I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I still feel like that was such a valuable experience because it was maybe one of the first times I really pivoted to say, no, I'm gonna, even if this dream doesn't make sense, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go for it
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
and like know myself through it. And I got to know so much of my inner critic just
yeah.
like coming down on me every time I'm
Yeah.
having fun making something.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I had to work through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, I realized, no, I actually don't want to be a fashion designer and I don't want to be making clothes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have known that unless I got went to the place till I like learned all the things and I started making a lot of stuff, and I through that I realized no.
Yeah.
So I know I got my answer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't a positive result, but I got awareness through that. And I
Yeah.
don't have to feel like, what if?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I tried it.
So crazy because when I was hearing you talk at the same time too, you got me so in touch with that part of me.
Yeah.
I also had a similar experience, but a different ending. So
Okay.
with my thing was, yeah, as a young kid, I want to be a fashion designer. In the yearbook, I wrote, yes, when I grow up, I want to be a fashion designer. Yeah. And that's how
Cool.
I would doodle in class,
Like
like,
making designs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And all of that. And at one point, I really wanted to, but what stopped me was like, again, the discouragement of like, how are you going to make money off of that? It's a very hard industry, blah, 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 blah. Right.
Hmm,
And
hmm,
so, but I always loved some form of fashion in that sense, but especially clothes. And
hmm,
so I just thought judgmentally, like, it's not like I don't know, like, if you really want to be seen as the good person, you really wouldn't go in that fashion industry. It's what I kept feeling like I would be choosing as a kid
hmm,
if I kept rolling with what I wanted. But
hmm,
again,
hmm.
it ate me, like subconsciously, like it just wanted to. It wanted to try it because I
Mm.
so badly wanted it. So
Yeah.
sometime in high school, I just decided to revamp all of my old clothes that I knew I wasn't gonna like wear again. And
Hmm,
so I
hmm,
decided, okay, how can I switch this around? Or
hmm,
if I had a vision of what I wanted, then how can I turn into that with the clothes that I wasn't going to wear anymore?
hmm, hmm,
Then I got really into it. And then I eventually practiced by getting a sewing machine, practicing on just sewing and just, but then when I started practicing too, when I actually went for it, I was all excited. Oh my God, I'm going to do it. That positive result. And when I started practicing, it was like, oh my God, I'm really bad at this. But I was new. I was just learning and I couldn't
Yeah.
appreciate it. Just like you said, I couldn't appreciate it because all of the shadow stuff, which back then, before I was aware of myself, I clearly bought into all of that shadow talk of like, who do you think you are? See, these people are good. You're not. Like, you're not going to make it out there because these people are better than you. And all of this negative talk stopped me, kept wanting to like stop me from pursuing it.
Hmm,
And it
hmm.
got to the point where it got to me. I
Yeah.
I let that negative shadow grow and basically made me steer away from like wanting to pursue this because it became too much of a pressure to
Hmm,
it, like the anxiety and the overwhelmingness of feeling like I suck at this. But I really love clothes and fashion, and I see some things that I try to look for in like buying clothes of like, oh, I wish I could see this so I could purchase it. But it's like,
Mhm,
if I
mhm.
don't see it, then it's like, oh, I wish I knew how to make it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, it let that negative talk in that moment discouraged me. And I actually bought into that negative talk of that is me. I'm not good at it. So I believe that that was me. And because I took on that belief of that is me, I ended up giving up on that positive like result that I was hoping for. And it was not only until I started becoming more consciously aware, um, that like I became aware that, oh, I actually don't like to like go through all of that step
Mhm,
in creating the clothes. I
mhm.
like to actually find clothes and put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to go through the time and the step of all of that. Like I just want the creation and be like, all right, that's it. Can go well with this and that and this and that. And then that's when I realized, okay, I guess I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Mhm.
became okay with it. And
Mhm,
when you said that, I became aware of like when you told your story, I became aware of my story and I
mhm.
realized I bought into myself that wasn't really me. It
Mm.
was, well, no, I take that back. It is me because I adopted that from experiences where, like my environment made me feel like that, but it wasn't my ultimate me.
Mm.
Like I didn't know myself well enough to be like, no, that is not me.
Mhm,
But when I became more and more aware of who I am, what you said earlier is so spot on of the more and more you become aware of yourself, the more and more easier it is to be in that flow because when you know you want that thing, it's easier to see if it's your shadow or not.
mm,
Yeah. And if you don't know, like you have an easier time figuring that out.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And if you don't know, then in that moment you explore yourself to get to know yourself more to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yes to going for things and
Hmm.
um,
So I
finding out if this is something really you wanna do.
yeah. So I guess the
Yeah.
conclusion is yes, it's good to go for that end result of what you want. That is
Mhm,
positive. But
mhm.
along the way, you're gonna find out if that's really what you
Yeah,
want or not by getting to
yeah.
know yourself more.
Uh-huh. So, I guess it's really about on the way there, the transformation that happens on the way.
Yeah.
That's more,
Yeah.
that's what
That's that's it. Like that is
maybe that is the whole reason for the mountaintop. It's who
Mhm.
you become on the way.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. I totally agree with you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true. And can we end on that note? I feel like
Yeah, that feels like a
say that
good.
one more time.
Okay, so yes to seeing that place on the mountaintop that you want to reach,
That positive result.
the positive result.
Yeah.
Hold that, but let the transformation on the way to getting there be the meat of that
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and maybe it's you realize you don't want to be on that mountaintop anymore. Or maybe you realize you do and you get there, but
Yeah. It's the
yeah,
journey. We're
it's the
finding out
journey.
the journey
Yeah.
that gets that result of what you want is to get you to be on that journey to find yourself.
To find yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in that place, you can't lose
Yep.
because you're always gaining awareness.
Yep.
Mhm. So you don't have to worry about, am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing? It's just, no, go, and you're gonna keep learning about yourself. So that's a win,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what.
It's really not the end result, it's the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's good that you have something that inspires you, that makes you want to keep
Mm-hmm.
trying.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's more the importance than actually what it actually is,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. And then
The
you
thing that
realize,
makes you,
yeah.
it's more the feeling it causes in you that's the important thing than what it actually is. Because what that actually is, like the mountaintop, that can always change.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
either way,
similarly
you're
with
gonna
like
get
the kind
there.
of person you want for your partner,
Yeah.
you know? I feel like all the different faces of who your beloved can be, how it
Yeah.
changes throughout your life, you know? You think, oh no, this person is it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you realize, oh no, definitely not. But there was something that whoever that face is, it's what they inspired in you to feel for that dream that it evokes.
Of manifesting that desire.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
journey cause you to become, or the self to become more aware, like
Yeah.
becoming more aware of yourself of,
Yeah.
this is the kind of person. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever it is, like your work or the love that
Mm-hmm.
inspires that longing
Mm-hmm.
and this thirst and this desire to be
Yeah.
in union or like to know.
Yeah. So if that positive result is that beloved, of the definition of your beloved partner,
Hmm.
and you're on your way to finding that or to
Hmm.
reach that,
Hmm.
yeah, it's knowing yourself to realize, is that really what I still want? Or has it
Hmm.
totally changed on this journey?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. But the end result is you're going to still reach that positive result,
Yeah. You're gonna
even if
have
it changed
union.
or not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because along the way, you become more, like, you get to know yourself more. Like, it's funny. You just end up in that positive result. It may look a little different, but it's still that positive result. Yeah. So the real value is getting to know yourself, and getting to know yourself comes with all the emotions.
Hmm.
So you can't get to know
Oh my
yourself
God. Okay.
as
I'm
just,
getting another download right now
yeah,
about why the journey
yeah,
of you knowing yourself
yeah,
and why it's always going to be a win-win
yeah.
on the inner and the outer. Because as you keep knowing yourself, you're actually in the journey of self-union,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
you meeting your desire
Yeah,
and like on all levels.
yeah, yeah. You can't
Like,
go into knowing yourself by being, I'm only going to see the positive of me, or I'm only going to see the negative of me. You're you're going on this journey to fully accept and to acknowledge, like, the only way I'm gonna really know myself is to know, like, accepting all emotional states,
yeah, oh
knowing
my God.
all of your emotional states.
All of your emotional states.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
To
Like
accept
the
that.
moments of like hopelessness and despair and powerlessness. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, how do you meet that? How can you like be in union with that?
Yeah.
And like that union that takes place inside of that is what will help you then give you the fuel to keep going again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But you
Yeah.
have to stop and like receive yourself in
Mm-hmm.
that place.
Mm-hmm. And see yourself fully.
See yourself fully.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't sugarcoat it by saying, no, no, I'm not going to accept that one. I only want to see the nice me.
Uh-huh. And I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. Or only the right me or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So the best result comes through seeing all of you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in
Surrender.
that journey of self-union,
Yeah.
every moment,
Yeah. Wow.
which is then what also like the more you are in self-union, then you will be in union with all things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're all things.
Yeah. Yeah. And because you've accepted all parts of you, it's easier to accept like all parts of other people and to be like, oh, there must be a good reason for you to be or to feel or to act that way. It doesn't mean you're going to accept all of it, even if it's like hurting you. No, it doesn't look like that.
Well, no, but you accepting someone who's hurting you doesn't mean you say it's okay.
Yeah.
You could be accepting someone's hurting you and say, no,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
my door is shut to you,
It's got to be a win-win
but I
where,
accept that's where you are. Yeah.
oh, it got kind of like you got kind of cut off. Do you want to say that one more?
Oh, yeah. Like accepting someone doesn't mean you don't have boundaries.
Yeah. Yes.
Accepting someone means you have like healthy boundaries.
Yes. And that boundary with that boundaries is both parties wanting the win-win,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
not the win-lose or I want to see
Mhm.
it, I don't want to see it. No, it's not gonna work. It's got
Yeah.
to be like I want to see it and I want to see it.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, this was a total organic experience. I loved our conversation today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does this feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess
Okay.
until
Well,
next time.
yeah. Till next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait.